Hi everybody, welcome back to Prof and Daddy cooking class. Today I'm going to teach you how to cook fried rice, and it's going to be a bit fancy today because we're going to be using tiger shrimp. Well, this is what I said last week, the last time. So tiger shrimp, which looks like this, tiger shrimp, hope you can see that, and I'm going to show you how to take the shells off. And the reason why we want tiger shrimp is because they're much more thicker, but also look how big these are. But because they're not cooked, the flavors are still in the shrimp. A lot of times when people buy pre-cooked shrimp, they actually boil it. And when you boil it, all the juices of the shrimp actually goes into the waters. And so what you get is tasteless shrimp. So it's better for you to buy raw shrimp, frozen shrimp, and then you can actually cook it yourself. Now, for you to deshell it, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull it back, all right, pull off the shell, and we're going to gently pull it off, so we can save that shrimp, so we get all of it. All right, so there we go, big nice shrimp. Okay, and so we got two more that are not shelled. All right, so we just quickly peel it back, pull it, and then gently pull it to make sure you get all of it. And after you peel the shrimp, you want to make sure that you rinse it with water. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so go rinse your shrimp in water. Also in our dish besides shrimp is we're going to be cooking with these vegetables. So we're looking for color. We're choosing our vegetables by color as well as for taste. Garlic stems, which is actually very delicious. All right, so that's greens. We're also going to use red pepper. This only costs 25 cents, and you'll see how much we use, only about probably half. We're going to have garlic, of course, to flavor the oil. And then we have white mushrooms, okay? Eggs, of course, so we've got 2 eggs for this dish, all right, which we will scramble. And then, of course, the key ingredient for fried rice is actually red Chinese sausage, all right? So we only need 1 for this dish. Okay, so wash your vegetables, all right, and then let's get cutting. But before you wash your vegetables, let me just show you a quick trick. What I like to do, and my mom taught me, is you just get a stainless steel bowl or a bowl, fill up with water, and then you can rinse in here and then dump. And if you need to wash it again, like spinach, you can wash it again. And then there you go. It's very easy. For the garlic stem, we just want these in because it cooks faster, but also because it's for fried rice. We just want to have just a few pieces just to give it some flavor. All right, so we just cut it in small pieces, all right, just like that. And then we're gonna put this aside. Mushrooms. Okay, that's looking really nice now. So we've got green, we've got white. Now we're gonna get some red. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna want a piece of that. Okay, we wanna pull off the seeds, pull out the seeds. Okay. For the eggs, what we need to do is make sure when we crack and scramble our eggs, we also put a little bit of salt. And for us, we're going to use MSG because you want to flavor your eggs a little bit. Okay, so we're going to crack 2 eggs. Make sure you don't have any crunchy pieces like the shells. Don't want that. Okay, there we go. And then we want just a pinch of salt, so just a pinch, just so that it's a little bit flavored. Okay, so we get a fork. Okay, and just scramble that. And what I like to do with eggs is actually put a little bit of fresh pepper as well. Okay. Okay, so our eggs are ready, and then we're also going to use Chinese sausage. So again, like before, you can either cut them in big pieces like this, or you can cut them down the middle and cut them in cubes, right? That cooks equally as fast. So it depends on how you want it to look, all right? Daddy, can you give me an oval dish, please? Thank you, Daddy. Okay, so now we have our oval plate, and so we're gonna put things together. So we have, let me just move things around. So we have our pepper, we have our Chinese sausage, okay. We have our peppers, red pepper, so that's gonna look really nice. We have something white, our white mushrooms. Okay, you can already see all the nice colors that are coming. And then also we have our garlic stem. It's very sweet. Okay, then we have our eggs. And then also we're having shrimp. Now, because these shrimps are really big, and especially for fried rice, we don't want them so big unless you're having guests and you try to be all fancy and generous. Fine, keep them like this. But for us, we're just gonna cut them down the middle. All right, oops, okay. And then what we're gonna, as we're cutting them, we should actually make the marinade, so don't forget. So with the marinade, we always have to use tapioca starch, right? So tapioca starch, we don't need that much this time because we're not using a lot of shrimp. And also for shrimp or any kind of seafood, what I like to use is actually seasoned salt, okay? So the seasoned salt actually is very salty, so just a little bit of pinch should be enough, okay? And then we like to add a little bit of extra pepper in that, some fresh pepper. All right. And then we can also add some sesame oil and also some water. So let me just run that. Okay. Now remember, we just want a little bit of water just to marinate so that it can coat our lovely shrimp. Okay, so we're just going to pour just a little bit of the sesame oil. Has a nice flavoring. Okay, because we're building our flavors. Okay, and then just a little bit of water. Remember, just to kind of mix everything together. Okay, so mix that up. All right, so we put that aside, and now we can drop our shrimp in there. Okay, so this was a badly cut shrimp. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually just hold it down like this, keep it even, and cut it down the middle like that. Okay, so first I'll cut it one more time. Okay, so we're actually ready to do our fried rice. So before we begin our fried rice, we have to think what's going to go into the pot. How are we going to build our flavors so that each one is still included in the dish so we don't lose anything? So what I'm thinking is, first of all, we have to have our garlic, okay? And the garlic is going to always flavor our oil. So with that, what I would do is I would actually then put in the eggs so that when I cook the eggs, the eggs will pick up the flavoring of the oil, which is garlic oil, which will be great. And then from there, I'm thinking that the vegetables should go in next. All right. Then from the vegetables, because we want to make sure that our Chinese sausage is cooked last. This time because we want the oils and we want it to flavor the fried rice. So once we put in the Chinese sausage and we pull that out, right? Then we're able to put in the rice that will also pick up all the oils of our sausage. So if you have any kind of sausage or proteins, it's actually fantastic for the rice to kind of pick up those delicious flavorings. Okay, so there we go. So we're ready to cook everything on the stove. Nice and simple. I'll meet you at my stove. All right, so now we're ready to actually cook our fried rice. So let us turn on our stove. Okay, and now make sure we put a little bit of oil. Okay, so one spoonful. All right, so we're gonna put a spoonful of that, and then we're gonna put in our garlic. Okay, so we can flavor that up. Okay, so we put in our garlic, and then we'll wait for that to go. And then we'll put in our eggs. And now don't forget that you have a bowl beside you because we're gonna be pulling up each ingredient into here until we then put everything together with the rice. Okay, so don't forget your bowl. Okay, so we'll just wait for that to heat up. As we're waiting is maybe add a little bit of, I cooked this earlier this afternoon, so it's a little bit sticky to each other. So I'm going to add just a little bit of water just to loosen that up, and then we can actually just get it ready when we do fried rice. So just kind of break it apart, loosen it up, so that when we put it in the pot, we don't have to do it in the pot while everything is cooking. Right? What you'll notice is a little bit of the water will actually loosen that up. Okay, so you can see my garlic is actually turning a little bit brown, so we'll push that a little aside. Give it 1 sec for it to heat up again, and then we're going to add in the eggs. So for us, we actually like our eggs a little bit chunky, so we can pour that right in. Okay, make sure we get all of it. All right, so what we can do is there's still egg in there, so we can just pull that out like that. Make sure we get all of the eggs because we don't want to be wasteful. All right. Okay, so now you can see, here's my garlic here, that's okay. So the egg is now cooking. Eggs cook really fast, that's why they're so good. All right, so we just quickly mix that up. Break it, chunk it, break it into small pieces. And you can see that it's just about cooked. We don't want to overcook it, so just pick it up, kind of break it apart, and that is now ready for our fried rice. So we put that in our bowl, okay? All right, so eggs are done. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is let us be smart about it and let us cook our shrimp. That way the shrimp flavor can actually go to our vegetables, like last dish, okay? So we just wait to get that nice and hot. So just make sure you mix that up a little bit more. Okay, and then just drop that in there. Okay, so that's our shrimp. So our shrimp, we want to just kind of turn that around, let that sit up a bit. Okay, you can see it turning pink, very beautiful. This time is nice and big shrimp. That way my dad's going to have a very delicious fried rice. Actually, what my dad likes in his fried rice is actually just oil with a little bit of garlic. And then he puts in his rice with a little bit of salt, pepper, and accent. And then that's to him, he thinks that's a very delicious fried rice. Okay. Okay, so the shrimp is just about done. I always like to add just a little bit of water just to kind of get it moist, more moist, and kind of turn that around. Okay, so that's about done. All right, so shrimp is done. So my shrimp is about 90% done. It's too bad you're not here to smell the beautiful smells of my shrimp. Okay, so now we're gonna maximize the taste of our pot because there's shrimp taste, and now we're going to wait for that for a sec, and then we're going to decide, okay, what are we going to put in first? So for me, I have garlic stems, and garlic stems is a little bit hard, so this is going to cook a little bit longer than my red peppers and my mushrooms. So I will put that in first. Okay, and we're just going to give that a quick stir. Okay, you can already see that it's already turned a very nice green. Okay. Okay, we're going to put just a little bit of salt, a little bit of accent and salt. All right, since it's already now kind of turned color, we can add in our mushrooms and our red pepper. Look at that. Now the pot's getting a little bit smoky, so there we go. It's a little bit dry. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so we just want to keep tossing that around. The water is actually quite fast because I actually don't have that much ingredients in here. So we just want to make sure that doesn't burn out. Okay, so just cooking. Mushrooms cook very fast. Okay. We also don't want a lot of sauces because don't forget we're making fried rice. So if there's too much water, rice mushy, and we don't want that. All right, now that's looking about done. Now we're going to do our Chinese sausage. Usually when we buy Chinese sausage, it's only probably about once a year because I only use it on special occasions. So if I'm going to have a party, for like Chinese New Year's parties, have some friends and family over, then I would actually buy Chinese sausage. Now, you have to remember for the dishes that you end up cooking, you only need 1 or 2. And what you can do is actually then put it in the freezer And once you put it in the freezer, it's all good for the next time. Okay, so we just want to kind of stir that, turn that down a little bit so we can make sure that all the oils come out. So now we have our wonderful toppings that's going to go inside of our dish. Okay, so the next thing now is going to be our rice. Okay, so this is about the rice. All right, so we're just going to put that in here. All right, just try to scoop up as much all the rice that you can. Let's not be wasteful. All right. Okay. So what we want to do is turn that on high. Add just so you can see that's a little bit dry. See? So what we do is just add a little bit of water, not too much water, and then you can start kind of mixing it down, pushing it down a little bit. All right. Any juices from here? Nope, none for this time around. All right. Okay. So now what we do is add just a little bit more salt. Okay, a little bit more salt. Okay, we're going to use some accents. Okay, not too much. There we go. And then we put in our toppings. There we go. Okay, look how beautiful that looks. Oh man, that looks delicious. All right, we want to break up all the pieces. That's a little bit chunky. Okay. Okay, make sure you're mixing that. Whoops. Lost an egg. Put that egg back in. There we go. Okay, kind of smooth out your rice. Okay. And then what I like to do is just like that. So that way I make sure, because I added the salt and added MSG, and I want to make sure that it's evenly spread. So just bring it back here and then just turn it over and then just give it like chop, 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 like that. Okay, so it's nice, and then all the toppings get to mix together. All right, so I still see it's a little bit clumpy here. Just push it down a little bit. Once the rice starts to warm up a little bit, it'll be fine. Okay. Hey, let's get my daddy to see what he thinks of this rice. All right. Okay, so let's see. Daddy? Daddy, can you please taste my rice? Hey, here comes my daddy.
Wow, looks nice.
Thank you, Daddy. That's shrimp there. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, shrimp, yes. Shrimp fried rice. It's good, eh, Daddy?
Very good.
Okay. Now, stay tuned, because now I'm going to teach you how to do sticky rice, a different kind of rice, but very delicious as well. All right. See you soon.